Okay, good morning, class.
Morning po.
Parang hindi pa tayo complete, no? 39 pa lang tayong nandito sa klase natin. Anyway, since majority naman is nandito na, we'll start our discussion. So, yung magiging discussion natin today is part of the finals coverage. Since yung midterms natin is until multiplexing and the multiplexing na lang. And tapos na natin siyang i-discuss, which will be uh, you, the coverage of your midterms. Anyway, yung schedule is tomorrow. So, 11 a.m. onwards ang availability ng lahat. So, be here by 11 a.m. So, nakahiram na naman ako ng dalawang room. But I think kulang pa rin yung dalawang room na yon. Just to be sure na meron tayong makuhang available na room, be here by 11 a.m. No? Meron bang may conflict sa magiging schedule tomorrow? Wala. Wala naman. Okay. So, yun yung time natin ng exam. Okay? Okay. So, kita nyo na ba yung presentation?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay. So, the topic for today will be regarding the communication and navigation systems. And these are critical components sa aerospace industry since nagpe-play siya ng fundamental role in ensuring yung safety, efficiency, and effectiveness ng various aerospace or operations. So before, natakal na natin yung communication systems and ang sabi natin, ang communication system is consist of a transmitter, a communication medium, and a receiver. And now, we will be discussing the different communication systems na ginagamit sa aircraft or in the aerospace industry. And also, yung importance ng navigation system, and also we will be uh, discussing the introduction to navigation systems. So, these systems are essential for both manned and unmanned aircraft as well as spacecraft para ma-facilitate natin yung communication between different uh, types of aircraft. So, yun yung mga aircraft to aircraft, aircraft to ground stations, and others naman if meron tayong mga spacecraft mission, ganon. So, ano ba yung importance ng ng communication and navigation systems in aerospace? So, sabi natin kanina, important siya in terms of safety. So, yan yung priority natin. Important siya in terms of safety since it enables the pilots and operators to receive critical information such as yung mga weather updates, air traffic data, and if meron mga emergency situations, no? So, sa navigation naman, navigation system naman, why is it important? Or ano yung importance niya sa safety? So, provide yan ng accurate na positioning and in-ensure niya na safe yung flight path na tinatahak ng ating aircraft para ma-prevent natin yung mga collisions, no? So, sa efficiency naman, so sa communication, it allows a timely exchange of information and also na-optimize natin yung mga flight routes and na-improve natin yung overall efficiency ng aerospace operations. So sa global reach, ang importance na sa global reach yung communication and navigation systems is for maintaining connectivity and control throughout the journey ng ating mga aircraft, no? And of course, important siya when it comes to emergency response since in the event of a distress situation, ang communication systems natin is vital since siya yung nagtatransmit ng mga signals and nako-coordinate ng mga rescue, no? So yan yung importance ng communication and navigation systems in aerospace. So, basic principles na meron tayo for communication systems is the radio waves. So, yung radio waves, most aerospace communication nagre-rely yan sa radio waves. So, ginagamit natin yan for it to be able to be suited for a long distance transmission. And also, yung mga frequency bands. Kung naalala nyo, before natakal natin yung mga different frequency bands in the electromagnetic spectrum. So they are allocated for various aerospace communication purposes. So in this aerospace, in this industry, meron tayong ginagamit na high frequency communication, very high frequency communication, and also yung ultra high frequency communication, pati yung satellite communication, which will be later on tackled in this lecture. So, sa navigation systems naman, so the basic principles that we have is the GPS or yung Global Positioning System. So, it is the satellite-based navigation system. And this provide precise position and time. And then yung inertial navigation. So, itong system na to, it uses accelerometers and gyroscopes para makalculate natin yung changes in position and orientation based on the initial position and velocity. So yun yung introduction natin in this communication and navigation system. So I discussed the importance, ano ba yung mga importance niya, and ano yung mga basic principles na ginagamit natin sa isang communication and navigation system. No? So before we proceed with the different communication system na ginagamit natin in avionics or aerospace, i-define muna natin yung avionics. So avionics, which is a combination of the words aviation, electronics. It encompasses a variety of electronic systems. It is a specialized field of electronics that deals with the development, installation, operation, and maintenance of electronic systems in aircraft, spacecraft, and other aerospace vehicles. So, avionics technology, in the over the years, meron na tayong mga advanced technology. So, it already contributed to the efficiency, reliability, and capabilities ng ating mga modern aircraft. So, through the years, marami na tayong naging improvement in terms of the technology. Kaya, yung avionics na ginagamit natin ngayon is mas efficient, mas reliable, and mas capable to be used in the modern aircraft. And all modern avionics systems confirm to Aeronautical Radio Incorporated or the ARIC standards. So ano ba yung ARINC standards? So ito, ARINC is a corporation established by foreign and domestic airlines, aircraft manufacturers, and transport companies to set standards for aircraft systems. Ibig sabihin, ARINC standards are a set of specs or specification and guidelines na ginagamit natin sa aviation industry. So yan yung uh, baseline natin when we are in the aviation industry para ma-ensure natin yung interoperability and standardization ng avionic systems and equipment. So dyan tayo nagbe-base. So yung ARIC standards, it covers a wide range of areas within the aviation domain. So included na dito yung mga communication, navigation, surveillance, and cabin system. So yan yung kino-cover ng isang ARINC standards. So, if meron tayong mga gustong gawin in terms of the communication, navigation, surveillance, and cabin systems in the aerospace industry, we have to follow the ARINC standards because yan yung kailangan nating sundin. And these are the specification and guidelines na ginagamit natin sa aviation industry. Nag-include lang ako dyan ng image ng wala lang. Para naman hindi masyadong boring yung ano no, yung presentation. Kasi ito is more on the basics or the concepts ng mga communication system na ginagamit natin. Unlike yung mga discussion natin before na meron tayong mga computation, in addition to the concepts. So in here, we will be discussing uh, yung mga definitions lang talaga. So medyo ano lang. Pero if interested naman kayo, so magiging magandang topic naman ito para pakinggan, no? So, may question ba?
Wala po, ma'am.
Okay. Sige, continue ko na. Yan. So, high frequency communication. As what I've said, ang ginagamit natin na communication system in the avionics industry is the HF or the high frequency communication, VHF or the very high frequency, UHF, ultra high frequency, and the satellite communication. So yun yung apat na communication system na ginagamit natin sa avionics. And let's start with high frequency communication. So high frequency communication systems are long distance communication systems and are not employed on all aircraft. So airlines may or may not utilize these systems depending on their particular requirements. And HF systems are not usually found in light aircraft. So, sabi dito, hindi daw siya usually found in light aircraft. The reason is yung high frequency communication systems natin, mostly ginagamit natin yan sa larger aircraft in which yung larger aircraft natin is yung nagta-travel doon sa long distance in which yung mga dinadaanan niya yung mga oceans and remote areas. And those locations, it requires long-range communication. And ang kaya lang makapag-travel sa mga ganun kalayong distance is yung mga larger aircraft natin. And kapag meron na tayong flights involving yung pagkakross ng mga oceans and remote areas, mas nagbe-benefit tayo in using the HF communication system since mas suitable siya in the long range communication. Why? because yung HF signals natin can propagate beyond the line of sight. So, hindi siya limited sa line of sight natin, even if maraming mga obstructions dyan. So, yung HF communication system natin is still able to be propagated. And kaya niya pa rin makapag-communicate efficiently and effectively. Since yung mga larger aircraft natin may fly in regions where continuous communication with air traffic control is uh, yung HF communication provides means for autonomous communication when direct coordination with ground is limited. No? And many airlines that employ HF communication systems do so because these systems provide for an extended range of communications between aircraft and from aircraft to ground stations. HF communication systems are used primarily on larger aircraft that require extended communication range. So yun na nga yun. Yun yung in-explain ko kanina. So extended communication range ang pinagagamitan natin ng larger aircraft which uses yung HF communication systems. No? So a typical aircraft HF communication systems it is composed of a control head located in the cockpit, an HF transceiver and power amplifier located in the radio rack, and an antenna coupler located in close proximity of the antenna. So yung control head natin, it serves as the user interface and yung central control unit sa isang HF radio equipment. So yung control head is a critical component which allows the operator para i-manage or i-manipulate yung various aspects natin ng HF radio system. No? So yan yung function natin ng control head in the HF radio system. So another component na meron tayo in HF communication system is the transceiver and power amplifier. So yung transceiver, as you all know, so it integrates both yung transmitter and receiver function. So it allows the system to both send or transmit and yung mag-receive ng signals. And also, yung power amplifier natin, yun yung responsible para mag-increase ng power or amplitude ng signals natin na uh, na-generate ni transceiver. So, important yan sa mga long distance communication wherein yung signal strength natin uh, is nagde-degrade since yung transmission path niya is long distance na. No? And lastly, uh, it is consist of an antenna coupler located in close proximity of the antenna. So yung antenna coupler naman natin, so this is also known as the antenna tuner or matching network. So siya yung nagmamatch ng impedance ng radio transmitter and receiver sa antenna. No? So yung impedance matching, as we have discussed before, uh, it is crucial para sa efficient transfer ng radio frequency energy between the transmitter and antenna. So, ino-optimize niya yung performance ng communication system. So, yan yung nagko-consist ng isang HF communication system. No? May question kayo?
Wala po, ma'am.
Tabernero, may question? Parang hindi yan.
Kanina, naka-off po yung mic niyo po.
Hala, oo nga. Ang dami ko nang sinasabi dito. Saan ako nag-start mag-off ng mic?
Yan pong PowerPoint na po yan. Ang slide po.
Dito.
Opo.
Pero, ito ba? Wait. Yung isa, yung previous slide.
Okay po yun.
Ito.
Ay, hindi din po.
Hindi na. Ano ba yan? Sayang naman yung laway ko. Oh, sige. Ulitin natin. So, dito sa slide na to is just the continuation ng HF communication system na ginagamit natin sa avionics, no? So, HF communication system frequency group consists of ground waves. Therefore, these are used for long-distance radio transmissions. The HF system on an airplane is used to provide two-way voice communication, meaning it is in duplex communication with or digital coded signals for ground stations or other aircraft. The HF radio control panel is located where it is easily accessible to the pilot or co-pilot. So, yung radio panel daw natin is located where it is easily accessible to the pilot or co-pilot. So, malapit lang siya. Since marami siyang kinokontrol dito sa ating HF radio panel. Since meron itong control unit and meron din siyang user interface wherein, for example, kinokontrol niya yung ating mga modes, yung mga flight modes. So, dun lang siya sa tabi ng ating pilot or co-pilot. And meron tayong image dito ng HF radio panel. So, yan yung example natin ng isang HF radio panel. And a typical panel includes a frequency selector, a squelch or RF gain control, and a mode selection switch. So, ano ba yung frequency selector? So, in the context of avionics or the communication system, yun yung ginagamit natin para makontrol or ma-select natin or ma-set natin yung operating frequency na gagamitin for the radio transmitter or receiver. So, yung primary purpose niya is to allow the users to choose a specific frequency at which they want to transmit or receive the radio signals. So, yung frequency selectors natin can be either manual or digital. So, sa manual selectors natin, yun yung mga physical controls such as the knobs or the dials. While yung digital selectors naman natin, on the other hand, yun yung mga electronic controls, no? So, another component of a panel or a radio panel that we have is the squelch or the RF gain control. Ano yung ginagawa niyan? So, ang function niyan in the communication system is to help control the audio output. So, paano niya kinokontrol yung audio output natin? So, by muting or reducing the background noise when the received signal is weak or absent. So, yun yung ginagawa ni squelch. So, yun yung function niya. Minumute niya or nire-reduce niya yung background noise. No? And the other component that we have in the radio panel is the mode selection switch. So, yung mode selection switch naman, so it refers to the ability para makapag-select ng different operational modes. So, in-involve niyan yung pagsaselect between different settings or functions ng uh, based doon sa specific needs ng isang flight, no? So, for example, yung mode sa mode selection switch, kunyari ay gusto ni pilot na autopilot. So, nagko-correspond yan sa desired aircraft behavior such as yung pagme-maintain ng specific altitude or nagfo-follow ng programmed navigation route. So, yan yung one example of the mode selection switch in an HF radio panel. No? So, on most aircraft, the antenna for an HF radio is covered by plastic shields. So bakit plastic shields yung ginagamit or plastic type shields yung ginagamit natin na cover sa isang HF radio? So may purpose yan. So one of the several purposes is related to protection ng ating panel and the efficiency of overall performance ng para sa communication system. So yung protection, so it can be protection from several environmental factors. So pwede siyang maging shield from direct exposure to sunlight, mga ganon. Or another purpose naman kung bakit gumagamit tayo ng plastic type shields na cover is para ma-reduce natin yung radio frequency interference. Since nagpo-provide yan ng insulation against radio frequency interference, no? And the cover may be of fiberglass or a similar material that will allow electromagnetic waves to reach the antenna. Okay, next slide. HF antennas. So, HF antennas, yung these are the antenna that we use in the HF communication system and designed or fina-facilitate siya sa long-range communication. So yung aircraft HF antennas natin used on earlier aircraft consisted simply of an insulated copper wire that extended from the aft of the fuselage. So yung fuselage, yun yung main body or central structure ng isang aircraft by means of electric motor that adjusted antenna's resonant length to correspond with the transmitted or received frequency. So, sa isang HF antennas, meron tayong mga key points, no? So, meron pala tayong iba't ibang antennas na ginagamit sa isang HF communication system. So, meron tayong WIP antennas. WIP antennas spelled as WHIP antennas. So, ito yon yung nasa leftmost image natin. So, yan yung tinatawag natin na WIP antenna. So, common yan sa isang aircraft in using HF communication. So, it is a vertical rod-like structure. And mounted yan sa exterior ng isang aircraft. No? So, yung location niyan, typically is nasa fuselage or yung main body or the central structure ng isang aircraft. Pwede din na nasa wings or pwede din na nasa tail ng isang aircraft, no? And another type of antenna that we are using in HF is the folded dipole. Yan, folded dipole antenna. Nasa gitna. So, ito naman, it is consist of two parallel conductors. So, kung makikita nyo, meron tayong parallel conductors dyan. So, it is folded para ma-reduce natin yung physical size ng antenna. And another type of wire na ginagamit natin in HF is the wire antennas. So, yung wire antennas natin, ito yung nasa rightmost image na yon, yung parang connected siya sa tail papunta doon sa ano. So, these antennas are often deployed during flight and retracted when not in use. So, it is composed of a long, thin wire that contributes to the signal, transmission, and reception. So, yan yung different types of antenna na ginagamit natin in an HF communication system. So, yung function yan ng HF antennas natin, of course, is to capture the signal. And as we all know, HF antennas or yung antennas natin need to be tuned and matched to the aircraft's transceiver. So, yung mga impedance matching natin na tinatawag. So, kailangan yan sa isang antenna. So, para ma-ensure natin na yung antenna natin is nagre-resonate at the desired frequency and ma-maximize natin yung efficiency ng signal transmission and reception. So, typically, sa design ng isang antenna, meron niyang lightning protection. So, yung lightning protection natin, yung feature niyan is to safeguard against damage from lightning strikes. So, meron tayong nakasulat dito that the modern aircraft use a fixed length antenna of either the long wire variety that extends from vertical stabilizer to a point on the top of the fuselage. So, anong ibig sabihin nun? Fixed length of antenna. So, it just indicates na yung antenna natin has unchanging length or hindi siya na re-retract since meron siyang fixed length antenna which remains at a constant size during operation. Yung modern aircraft And then yung next naman, it uses an antenna that is molded into a composite panel that forms the leading edge of the vertical stabilizer or some other surface on the aircraft. So molded into a composite panel meaning hindi siya separate entity. So, ibig sabihin naka-attach siya dun sa aircraft. Instead, naka-integrate siya or naka-mold siya sa isang aircraft. Why? Para makapag-create tayo ng structure na strong, lightweight, and durable. So, the antenna coupler matches the fixed length and the long wire or embedded antenna to the proper resonant frequency by loading the antenna through a series of LC-tuned circuits. The antenna coupler system is necessary to maintain an efficient match between the antenna and transmitter at a wide range of frequency. No? So, yan yung function or details natin regarding the HF antennas and yung mga ano yung location and ano yung ginagamit natin na material and ano yung mga types of antennas na meron tayo sa isang HF communication system. Okay, so the complete HF transceiver is installed in an electronic equipment rack and is remotely controlled from the control unit in the flight deck. So this just explains the location and how it is being remotely controlled, yung ating HF transceiver. So the receiver transmitter operates at high frequencies between 2 and 29.999 megahertz. 'Di ba yung HF frequency nyo, HF frequency, kung mare-recall nyo sa ating electromagnetic spectrum, meron siyang frequency range na 2 until 30 megahertz. And this uses several modes. Several modes niya is yung single sideband, upper sideband, lower sideband, full carrier amplitude modulation or AM, and continuous wave. So, yung different modes niya, yung nagde-determine ng waveform characteristics of the signals transmitted and received by the radio. And all the data modes are used for voice communication. So, yung modes natin dito, it refers to the different methods or yung configurations natin in which yung radio transmitter and receiver ay nag-ooperate. Yan yung different operating modes niya. Yung mga yan. Yung mga SSB, USB, LSB, AM, and CW. So, yung waveform characteristic naman, it pertains to the shape. Yun yung shape na na-form or the modulation and properties ng signal na na-transmit and na-receive ng radio. So, the data mode is used for digital type information that is linked to equipment external to the HF radio system. So, in this statement, so it is a specialized configuration designed to handle digital type information. So, itong information na to is linked to external equipment, and the data mode ensures na meron tayong effective communication between HF radio system and external digital devices. No? And lastly, the data communication system is known as air-ground data link or data link. So, yun yung tinatawag natin na data communication system that is known for air-ground data link or the data link. So, yung term na air-ground data link or data link, it refers to a specialized data communication system na ginagamit natin sa aviation para makapag-facilitate tayo or makapag-exchange ng digital information between aircraft and ground-based facilities. So, it has a crucial role in modern air traffic management and operational communication. Yeah. So, in this slide, this is an example of an HF communication system that we have. So, itong ANARC-161 is an HF or high frequency communication system na ginagamit in the military aircraft. So, it is part of the broader ANARC series. So, this is just one type of HF communication system where in yung AN means or it stands for Army, Navy. So, kaya nga ginagamit siya in the military. So, nandun na sa acronym niya, Army, Navy. And this is just to show you kung ano ba yung mga components na meron tayo sa isang HF, sa isang actual na HF communication system. So, to define, so yung ANARC-161 natin, it provides two-way communication between aircraft and any similarly equipped platform. So, siya is a transceiver. So, nagpo-provide yan ng transmission, reception, and processing of intelligence and tactical data. So, each AN-ARC-161 radio set in the HF communication system consists of the following components. So, kanina na-discuss natin yung mga components ng isang HF communication system. So, in this type of HF communication system, specifically yung ANARC-161 natin, meron din siyang receiver transmitter, which is called the RT1000/ARC161. So, ano yung function niyan? So, it controls the radio tuning, of coupler tuning, and mode selection. So, it also contains all the circuitry required for generating of transmitter signals and processing of received RF signals into audio or data signals. So, meron din siyang RF amplifier. So, yung RF amplifier niya, of course, it amplifies the output of the RT prior to transmission, receiver transmitter signal, no? And then meron din siyang control box. So it controls the operation of the HF radio set, and meron siyang antenna coupler which includes a lightning arrestor. So ano yung lightning arrestor natin dito? So it is also known as the surge arrestor or yung lightning rod. And ito yung device designed to protect electrical and electronic systems from potentially damaging effects of lightning strike. No, kaya tayo merong lightning arrestor dyan para ma-protect niya yung ating device from lightning strikes. So, anong function ng antenna coupler natin dyan? So, it provides impedance matching. So, 'di ba kung naaalala niyo yung function natin ng impedance matching or ng antenna coupler, meron tayong impedance matching which is ina-apply natin dito sa ating communication system na ginagamit sa isang aircraft. And also, antenna. Meron siyang antenna. And then, next, sabi natin meron tayong control box. Meron tayong component na control blocks under ng AN/ARC-161 and ito yung detailed na feature na meron tayo sa ah, type of communication system na 'to. So, meron naman diyang mga numbering. So, yung 1 to 6, yun yung megahertz select switch. So, diyan tayo nagse-select ng desired frequency from 2 to 30 megahertz. Meron tayong squelch control na, meron tayong squelch off. So, if gusto nyong i-control yung kanyang squelch, then ito yung ating i iikot or iko-control. Then meron din tayo CPLR ready. So yan yung mga features na meron tayo sa isang control box ng isang example ng HF communication which is yung AN/ARC-161. These are just the different modes that we have and ito yung kinokontrol ng isang pilot or co-pilot. Depende dun sa mga needed niya or sa mga requirements niya. So, yan yung kanyang ginagamit. No? Yan. So, sa HF daw, sa HF communication system, meron din tayong disadvantage. So, one of the problems often encountered with the use of HF radio is it depends on energy being deflected off the ionosphere layer para ma-achieve yung long-range communications. Meaning, if meron tayong changes sa layer in terms of its density and altitude, meron tayong magiging changes sa frequency na ginagamit natin. So, ibig sabihin, if a pilot is experiencing a good communication using this type or using this specific frequency, it may be different sa mga susunod na oras depending on the changes in the layer or the ionosphere layer. No, so doon nagdedepende yung ganda or yung good communication. So yun yung isang disadvantage ng isang high frequency communication system. Okay? So next, very high frequency communication. Wait lang Okay, balik tayo. So, nandito na tayo sa VHF communication. So, VHF communication, ito yung another type of communication system na ginagamit natin sa avionics or in the aerospace. So, it is a widely used radio communication technology na nag-ooperate in the frequency of 30 to 300 megahertz. So, kung maaalala nyo yung diniscuss natin before sa electromagnetic spectrum, ito yung frequency range ni VHF. So, VHF communication systems are employed largely for controlling air traffic. And these systems are installed in all types of aircraft, so the pilot may be given information and directions and may request information from air traffic control centers, control towers, and flight service stations. On the approach to any airport with two-way radio facilities, the pilot of an aircraft calls the tower and requests information and landing instructions. And in airline operations and all instrument flights, the flight of an aircraft is continuously monitored by air traffic control or the ATC, and the aircraft's crew is given instructions as necessary to maintain conditions of safe flight. No? So another information that we have in the VHF communication is it allows for line of sight communication. So, or it is limited to line of sight and mas maganda siyang gamitin sa mga lighter aircraft. Kung yung HF natin mas suitable gamitin sa mga larger aircraft, itong VHF mas suitable siya or it is usually being used in the lighter aircraft kasi nga ang frequency range niya is in the line of sight communication. So, making it suitable for short to medium range applications. So, yung large aircraft natin, is long range applications na meron tayo. And then, yung light aircraft natin, meron tayong short to medium range applications. And this uses the line of sight communication na meron kay VHF or yung very high frequency communication system. So, yung VHF natin, so it is used in air-to-air or air-to-ground communication. And ginagamit yan to communicate with air traffic control, other aircraft, and yung ground services during yung take-off and landing. No? So bakit sa tingin nyo limited lang siya sa line of sight? So because this is the nature of the radio wave propagation in this frequency range. So in this frequency range, ganun lang talaga yung kaya niyang uh, yun lang talaga yung capability niya. So dun sa straight line propagation, so ang fina-follow lang niya is the curvature of the Earth. So, nagpa-propagate lang siya in a direct line from the antenna to the receiving antenna. So, direct line lang yan. So, line of sight, ibig sabihin, yung kita niya lang, dun niya lang kaya mag-propagate. So, sa effectiveness, if yung elevation ng isang antenna is mas mataas, ibig sabihin mas efficient yung transmission of signal kasi wala nang mga obstruction. So, mas direct na yung directly mo na nakikita yung isang antenna. Ibig sabihin, kapag yung antenna natin is mas mababa, mas marami yung chances na marami tayong obstruction and hindi na natin directly nakikita yung antenna and wala na tayong uh, line of sight doon sa ating transmitter and receiver. No? So, next, continuation pa rin ito ng VHF communication systems. It operates in the frequency of frequency range of 118 to 136.975 megahertz. So for international operations, the frequencies may extend up to 151.975 megahertz. So itong range na to is allocated for various aeronautical communication purposes. So included na dyan yung mga air traffic control, pilot-to-pilot communication, and communication between aircraft and ground stations. So yung 118 to 136.975 na yan. So ano pa yan, naka-assign pa dyan yung different types ng communication na ginagamit. So meron siyang different frequencies which is assigned to different types of communication. For example, 'di ba nag-start tayo sa 118. 118 to 121, ang ginagamit diyan is the frequencies for communication between aircraft and air traffic control, no? And then 122 to 123. So, meron tayong pinagagamitan niyan like airport ground control, clearance delivery, and air-to-air communication. Then 123 to 128, meron tayong air-to-air communication and other aviation services. And then yung 129 to 135, ito yung frequencies for navigation-related communication. Sige na nga, idagdag ko na nga dito. Baka kasi hindi nyo na nasundan yun eh. Yan. So, yan yung assigned frequency for different types of communication under ng VHF. So, yung sinasabi nating extended frequency range for international operations, yung 151.975. So, ginagamit natin yan if meron tayong frequencies that may extend beyond the standard range. So, yung extended range, it allows for additional frequencies na gamitin, possibly para ma-accommodate natin yung increased air traffic or para sa specific international communication requirements. So, ginagamit natin yan kapag may paggagamitin tayong international communication requirements or kapag ma-increase natin or ma-accommodate natin yung increased air traffic, no? So, anyway, pasok pa rin naman siya doon sa ating frequency range ng VHF since yung frequency range natin ng VHF is up to 300 megahertz. So, the nature of radio wave propagation at these frequencies is such that communication is limited to line of sight distances. So, ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina. Limited lang siya sa line of sight distances. So, yung effective communication natin is para meron tayong effective communication, dapat meron tayong unobstructed direct line of sight between the transmitter and receiver. So, due to this limitation, yung communication natin in the VHF is limited to relatively short and medium distances only. And yung signals na nagta-travel sa straight line and if for example, dumaan siya dun sa mga obstacles natin like yung hills or buildings or the curvature, pwede siyang mag-obstruct dun sa direct line of sight which is in result maglilimit siya ng effective communication. So, dun sa mga areas, for example, na mga mountainous terrain or yung mga dense na urban structure. So, yung range can be limited. And yung mga obstacles na 'to can block or mas scatter yung mga radio signals, no? So, we can have an inefficient communication in this type of locations. So the advantage of VHF communication, however, is that the signals are not often distorted or rendered unintelligible by static and other types of interference. VHF communication radios are currently available with 720, 760, or 360 channels. The 720 or 760 channel radio is preferred by most pilots owing to its versatility in frequency selections. So, yung number of channels natin na sinasabi dito are the 720, 760, and 360. So, ito, yung ini-indicate niyan, yung number of preset or programmable channels that the radio can access and use for communication. So, ang advantages if meron tayong more channels, yung radios natin with higher number of channels can offer more flexibility in terms of frequency options for communication. So, advantages yan, kunyari sa mga crowded airspace or areas na merong mataas na volume ng air traffic, no? And yung use natin ng standardized channels in VHF radios, nagko-contribute yan sa harmonization ng ating international standards since yung ating mga pilots and air traffic controllers, kaya nilang makapag-communicate seamlessly across the borders since common yung frequency or channel na ginagamit nila. And in this case, available siya dun sa 720, 760, or 360 channels. Okay? And then, system description pa rin ng aircraft, ay ng VHF. So, it is consist of a VHF transceiver, control head, antenna, and interface to the aircraft audio systems for access to the microphone and cockpit speaker. So like the HF, meron din siyang components, no? So yung components niya is yung transceiver, control head, antenna, and interface. So in light aircraft, the transceiver is mounted in the instrument panel and contains all the necessary controls and displays. So yung transceivers daw niya, it already contains all the necessary controls and displays na kailangan sa isang instrument panel. Yun ay sa light aircraft. So in larger aircraft, the control head, which is used for selecting receiver and transmitter frequencies, is usually located in the center console between the pilot and co-pilot, and the transceiver is remotely located in the radio rack aft or below the crew station. So sinasabi lang din yung location ng ating panel in the light aircraft and in the larger aircraft. So VHF communication transmitters provide AM voice communication transmission between aircraft and ground stations or between aircraft. And because of the nature of VHF radio signals, the average communicating distance from aircraft to ground is approximately 30 miles or 48 kilometers when the airplane is flying at 1,000 feet and approximately 135 miles when the airplane is at 10,000 feet. No? So, yung communication distance and altitude, ano yung relationship niyan? So, in this statement, pinakita dyan yung distance and altitude ng isang communication sa aerospace. So, ang relationship niyan, yung distance is achievable or influenced by the using VHF radio signals is influenced by the altitude of the aircraft. So, ibig sabihin, kapag mas mataas yung altitude mo, and may greater line of sight ka between the aircraft and the ground-based station, then mas better. So, at higher altitudes, yung radio signals natin, nakaka-encounter yan ng fewer obstacles. Kaya siya mas better. So, yung mga obstacles natin like yung mga terrain, buildings. So, kapag tumaas na yung altitude natin, mas bumababa or nababawasan yung ating obstacles. And ina-allow niya yung extended line of sight. So, yung relationship natin between the altitude and communication distance, so tinutulungan niyan yung ating mga pilots and air traffic controllers na ma-anticipate yung effective range ng VHF communication in different flight scenarios. So, transmitting frequency is determined by the position of the selector switches on the VHF control panel. So in VHF communication systems, uh, yung transmitting frequency natin is a critical parameter since nagde-determine yan ng radio channel in which the communication will take place. And yung frequency selection natin, para ma-set natin yung transmitting frequency, yung uh, it uses selector switches. So, yung selector switches natin are the user interface components na ginagamit ng ating mga pilots para ma-adjust or ma-input nila yung desired na frequency. No? So, dun sa ating mga selector switches, it can be either digital or analog controls. So, sa digital controls, yun yung mga nag-involve na mga keypad or the rotary knobs with digital readouts, while yung analog naman, yun yung nag involve ng mga traditional knobs or dials. Yun yung mga iniikot. So, next. Yan. So, nasa VHF pa rin tayo. So, sa VHF, communication equipment for light aircraft is typically combined with a VHF navigation radio system. So, bakit daw kino-combine sa isang light aircraft? So, why do we combine the VHF communication system and the VHF navigation radio system? Uh, One reason is para sa efficiency ng space and weight. So, sa mga light aircraft kasi, meron siyang limitations when it comes to space and weight. So, kapag kinonbine natin yung panel natin ng VHF communication system and VHF navigation system sa isang single unit, nare-reduce niyan yung overall size and weight uh, ng panel. So, nagbe-benefit siya uh, lalo na doon sa mga smaller aircraft where kailangan talagang mag-optimize ng space and weight, no? And then, another reason kung bakit natin combine is para mas ma-manage ng pilot easily yung communication and navigation task since nasa isang interface na lang siya. And nasisimplify niya yung need for multiple control units. And also, for frequency coordination din. So, for the frequency coordination, kapag combined na yung communication and navigation system natin na function, nasisimplify niya yung coordination process and nami-minimize niya yung risk of errors or oversights. No? So, the VHF transceiver is a solid state or digital system that can receive or transmit on any one of the 720 channels in the com range of frequencies. The frequencies are spaced at 25 kilohertz intervals throughout the range. And frequencies are selected simultaneously for both the receiver and the transmitter by rotating the frequency selector knob. And yun. So this is just to show kung paano natin kino-control yung larger and small knob. So, meron tayong image dito ng VHF communication radio. Meron tayong small and large knob dyan. So, yung large knob is used to change the megahertz portion of the frequency. So, frequency selection lang din siya. But yun yung pagsaselect natin in the megahertz portion. While yung small knob naman, so frequency selection din siya, but uh, ang sinaselect niya is in the kilohertz portion or yung nasa 50 kilohertz increments. No? So, next. Ayan, wala na pala. So, yan yung two of the four types of communication systems na meron tayo sa isang aerospace. And may question ba kayo? Or inanto kayo dun sa ating discussion? Aha. Medyo nakakantok talaga yung ano natin. So next topic, ang i-discuss naman natin is I don't know if madadaanan pa natin yung UHF kasi uh, madalang lang yung applications natin ng UHF, but we will be discussing about the satellite communication. So sa susunod na ano na yun, sa susunod na topic na yun. And also, tinitingnan ko lang yung reference ha, para maging aware kayo sa mga i-discuss natin sa mga susunod na araw. Ayan. After ng VHF communication system, we would be discussing the theory of operations pala. Theory of operations of VHF. And meron tayong cell call decoder or the selective calling. So, i-discuss natin yon further. And meron tayong mga block diagram na ginagamit sa isang VHF communication system. So, yung block diagram na na-discuss natin before, that was just a simple block diagram. So, yung VHF communication system block diagram natin is much more complicated. But if you will see the components of the VHF communication system, halos nandun na din naman lahat yung mga na-discuss natin before sa isang block diagram ng isang transmitter or ng isang receiver. So, yung ano lang, so yung mga stages lang siguro yung pinagkaiba. And then we would be discussing the ARINC or yung standard, ARINC standard. And of course, yung satellite communication. And also yung mga regulations. And then, after ng regulations, we would be discussing the navigation systems. No? Yun. More on the basics and concepts lang to. Wala ko nakikitang masyadong computation. But marami kayong matututunan when it comes to yung mga ginagamit ng isang pilot sa isang aircraft. Which involves the communication system. Okay? So, yun lang. May question ba kayo?
Wala po, ma'am.
Okay. Ready na ba kayo sa exam nyo bukas? Ba't walang na-mic? Hindi pa kayo ready?
Hindi pa po.
Bakit? Lagi nga tayong walang klase kasi binibigyan ko kayo ng time para mag-review. Yun nga lang, kailangan na natin maghabol eh. So, ready or not, wala nang makakapigil.
Ma'am, hindi niyo po binago yung type of test po.
Bakit? Ano ba
Yung,
sinabi kong type of test?
yung identification po, multiple choice drawing at saka problem solving po.
Hmm.
Yun pa rin po.
Mm-mm.
Okay po.
Meron din true or false pala.
Pero wala pong enumeration, ma'am.
Gusto mo ba? Lagyan ko.
Hindi po. Ang dami po kasi nakabulit. Baka po nilagyan niyo po.
Hindi naman, wala.
Thank you po.
Basta mag-aral na lang kayo. No? Wait lang. Sinong wala? Bakit 41 lang kayo? Attendance nga tayo.
So yung Oxrox, parang Oxrox mission in 1930 mas may nakakapagawa. So itong mission na ito, successfully lobbied for the enactment of the Howard House Act.
3102.
Simulan muna natin isa-isa bawat word. So which was passed by the President Herbert Hoover veto in 1952. Para dalawa Oxrox mission also claimed that the Howard Housing Act was the best independent law that the
Please say present if you are here. Abreya.
Present po.
Arzadon.
Present po.
Avansado.
Present
Wala.
po.
Avansado.
Present po, ma'am.
Okay. Bakani.
Present po.
Balonga.
Present po.
Borromeo.
Present po.
Cacao.
Present po.
Camino. Camino. Anong di po? Ah. Nandito ba si Camino? Wala. Camo.
Present po.
Cañeda.
Present
Cañeda. Castillo.
Present, ma'am.
Catane.
Present po.
Concebido.
Present po.
Delara.
Present po.
De los Reyes.
Present po.
Doctora.
Present po.
Enalpe.
Present po.
Gambol. Wala si Gambol. Garcia.
Present po.
Gutierrez.
Present po.
Hernandez Crenz. Say present na lang ah. Hindi ako nakatingin sa ano. Hernandez Crenz. Wala.
Ma'am, si Krenz daw po ay nawalan ng internet, pero nandito po siya kanina.
Bakit laging may nawawalan ng internet sa inyo? Hernandez Janley.
Present po, ma'am.
Jimenez.
Present po, ma'am.
Lunar.
Present po.
Makaraig.
Present po, ma'am.
Makalintal. Edward. Manalo.
Present po, ma'am.
Manzanilla.
Present po.
Mendoza.
Present po.
Mina.
Present po, ma'am.
Montalvo.
Present po, ma'am.
Mosca.
Present po.
Natanawan. Adrian, wala. Perez.
Present po, ma'am.
Radones.
Present po, ma'am.
Rafa.
Present po.
Ramos.
Present po, ma'am.
Ramos Raisa. Raisa Ramos, wala. Saltok.
Present po.
Tabernero.
Present po, ma'am.
Torino.
Present po, ma'am.
Benko. Benko.
Ma'am, present po.
Villanueva. Nandito ba si Villanueva?
Present po.
Villar?
Present po, ma'am.
Okay. So,
Ma'am, present daw po si Gambol. Nag-chat po sa
sino?
Si Gambol po. Nag-chat po,
Gambol.
sirado po ang
Si Camino. Nandito ba si Camino? Wala. Si Hernandez Crenz. Si Ramos nandito.
Morning po, yes po.
Si Makalintal, wala. Camino, Hernandez Crenz, Makalintal, and Natanawan. Wala.
Ma'am, si Hernandez Cruz daw po ay nawala ng internet. Nandito po siya kanina.
Okay. November 10.